I saw this video, went a little viral, I guess. Some people are talking about it. It's of a woman who is 36 years old and she's crying because she's hit the wall, she's divorced, and she doesn't think she's going to be able to have kids. I have no animosity towards this woman. I feel bad for her. So I think for someone like this, I hope people don't insult or mock her. It's not her fault. This video I want to play for you, it's 2 minutes long. It's terrifying because I think so many women have been lied to by other women, by this machine, that it's resulted in very deep pain for women who are in their late 30s. And as this woman says, she goes, I want to have a family. I have no time left. It can't be done. She says she can't believe that she had embryos and she could have had kids and she didn't. And now she probably never will. That's kind of terrifying. Look, I'm 37. I don't have any kids. Working on it. Planning on a family and all that stuff. And definitely late bloomers. It is a trend among millennials to wait a very, very long time. It's very strange. I can't explain why. But look, I'm a guy. I'm a dude. I can have kids whenever. I don't have to think about this stuff. When you tell young women to be masculine, you can be like a man, you can be a CEO, you can have it all. What they often don't tell you is that you actually don't have time. Men, there are dudes who had kids when they're in their 70s. That's crazy. Women certainly can't do that. I'm going to play for you this video. And I hope, look, I'll say two things. Not all women feel this way. Women who don't want to have kids, more power to you. Chelsea Handler, she did that video where she's like, I wake up in the morning, do drugs and masturbate because I don't have kids. And I'm like, that's cool. Whatever, do your thing. But I hope this video shines a light in the other direction. For women who do want to have kids, consider what this woman who is 36 is telling you. Let me play the video for you.
I'm sitting here with just this horrible realization. I've been divorced for 3 years, and in that 3 years, I have spent most of my days figuring out how I can become physically, mentally, financially, spiritually healthy enough to be able to afford and take care of a child. And not only have I taken that time, but I've done the math, and it does not work out. I am not young enough, or fertile enough, or financially stable enough to even do another round of IVF, and at 36, I'm sorry, you're gonna say, you have time, I don't. Because I can't spend another minute of my life trying to make something work when I'm just fighting upstream. I don't have a support system. I don't have the money. I don't have the resources or the community. And it just kills me. It kills me that I had embryos with my ex-husband that were viable. And they're just gone now. And my future... my future with those children...
That's it. I know there's probably more to this video, but that's it. And so, there's a lot of lessons there from this woman. And I hope everybody gives her respect, and I wish her the best. I feel bad for her. I don't think... It's tough, man. This system, this machine says you have time, and she says right here, I don't. She had a husband. She got divorced. This isn't necessarily a story of a woman who screwed up. She got married. She's 36, but she got divorced. What I think the lesson from this is, it takes a village. And there are going to be a lot of women who are experiencing this, and they're going to be very angry. And go one of two ways. The original tweet that I saw said, I hope everybody realizes that these women are going to all be experiencing, there's going to be many women experiencing this, childless, husbandless, familyless, supportless. They're going to need money from somewhere, and they're all going to vote. Now, she wants to have kids, and she needs a support system. So what's going to happen? This voting bloc, as I said, could go one of two ways. Ultra progressive or ultra traditionalist, but nowhere in the middle. If they go in the middle and they go the route of modern feminism, they're just unhappy and have no kids. If they go the ultra progressive route, the state will provide for them and inseminate them. Or they can go the ultra traditionalist route and say, have families, get married young, have kids, get it done early. That's the traditional route. Now, there's going to be some people who probably stick in the middle, don't get me wrong, but I think you're going to see a lot of these people vote for communism, socialism, and you're going to see a lot of these people go hard traditionalist, religious, have family at young ages, at a younger age, go back to the way it used to be. Women having kids, I think, what was the average age? It was like 22. Women would get married around 18. They would spend their entire, they would date a handful of people, and by date, no sex. And they would find one guy and they say, hey, let's get married. And they get married. Then they'd have kids, and they would do it in their early 20s. Today, you get people like me, 37, no kids. I don't know. Don't ask me why. That's the way the machine worked. That's the way it was. I spent the last 10, 12 years just working and grinding nonstop, 12, 18 hours a day. I talked about something like this a few years ago, that the issue, I believe, is modern feminism. And the funny thing is the left took it to try and make these claims that I had no sex life, which was actually the inversion of what I was trying to say. As I've often said, love is hard, sex is easy. For the modern male, it is so easy to go out and find a woman who doesn't expect a relationship or marriage or money or anything, who will just give it up. But what if you want companionship, you want a partner, you want a family? That's hard, especially in an age when most women, millennial women, are far left, don't want kids, want to be CEOs. I shouldn't say most, but many of them. And when you bring this up on YouTube or whatever, the left attacks you for it. I think they just generally don't like kids. But it doesn't matter. I mean, that's not my audience anyway. So they try and make these claims to this is a funny thing too. The left will be like toxic masculinity. But then when you bring up that it's very difficult to have a stable relationship these days because of feminism, they will then attack your masculinity and mock you. It's almost like all of a sudden they care about it. No, they're just trying to belittle you. But the problem is, look, for someone who actually is successful, stable, and knows what they want, your mockery means very little. They call Ben Shapiro an incel, and it's like, dude's married with several children. They mock Matt Walsh for the same reason. It's like, the guy is married and has kids. I don't think what you're saying matters. If your own audience doesn't want to have kids or doesn't like masculinity, why would insulting a conservative's masculinity matter when he's secure in his masculinity and has a family and a wife? It's meaningless. I'll tell you what I think it means. And again, I feel bad for this woman. She's had nothing wrong. She deserves no mockery. I don't know how she votes. She probably votes left, but this is her saying, like, I've done the math, like, it's not working. She's coming to that realization. But I'll just say this. I think the left is jealous and they're suffering. There are probably people like this woman who are in their mid to late 30s who are realizing they hit the wall. They missed their opportunity. Men want, the guys their age are going after younger women who are more fertile and who are more traditional. I mean, that's in the data we've seen released from dating apps. So what can they do? Sour grapes. They can be angry. They can blame the system and claim they never wanted it in the first place. I am not saying all the women. There are many women who don't want this. That's fine. I got no beef. You can do whatever you want to do. I'm saying I bet there are a lot of women, and a lot could be 10, could be 100, it could be 1,000. I'm just saying there's probably going to be a lot of women, a lot more moving forward, I should say, who are going to act like having kids is bad. They never wanted kids. And the real reason is it never happened for them. So they're in a weakened social category. For the women who have kids and have families and are gossiping and wine moms and all that stuff, they're having a good time, socially acceptable. But what if you're an old spinster? What if you can't have kids? How are you going to be cool? No, you can be like Chelsea Handler and brag about how you wake up early in the morning, do drugs, and masturbate. That's fine. Do your thing. It reminds me of The Simpsons. There's that clip where the Van Milhouse's parents get divorced. And then Milhouse's dad shows Homer his bachelor living place. And he's like, hey, this is my room, Homer. My bed's a race car. Do you sleep in a race car at night? And Homer goes, I sleep in a big bed with my wife. Oh, that's it. Do you sleep in a race car? No, I sleep in a big bed with my wife. That's the answer. It's funny. Simpsons understood this back in the 90s. Many of these people who are suffering in this way are going to revert to some kind of, well, I'm better off for it, as they wither and die inside. I feel bad for this lady, man. She's online posting a video crying, saying, I've done the math. I don't have the money. I don't have the time, the resources. It can't be done. Yeah, it takes a village. A husband can help. You want to have kids. Man, here's the crazy thing. How many guys knocked up some chick and then just ran off and didn't care about it? Accidentally had kids. And those women have to physically bear the brunt of finding food, of creating the human with no one there for them. But this is modern feminist culture. Women saying like, I don't need no man, and men being like, I have no responsibility, so who cares? Now, granted, there's still alimony, child support, court issues and stuff. But this is the problem we're facing right now. And, you know, I'm hoping that for women like this, they actually go the other way with it. Maybe she realizes what the left has proposed has hurt her and will hurt others. And we need to say, look, if you're a woman who wants to have a family, your choice, you can choose whatever you want. Just consider you need to get married. You need to be young to have kids. You want to be younger. You can wait a little bit. That's true. But you want to do it when you're young, when you're the healthiest. The younger a woman is when she gives birth to a kid, that kid has a longer lifespan. But it's usually like from like 20 to 28. So obviously too young and the mother suffers health complications, and too old and the mother and the baby will suffer health complications. So there is a right age for having kids. This video makes me sad, man. Seeing this woman cry because she feels like she's out of time and she can't have a family. I hope that doesn't happen to you. And I hope y'all learn from this. And I wish this woman the best. You have my sympathy, my empathy. I hope you figured it out. I hope it worked out for you, because you shouldn't be crying and angry about this. It shouldn't happen. I hope you've figured out a way to make it work. I want people to be happy. I just hope people realize before it's too late. I'll leave it there. Next segment's coming up tonight at 8 p.m. over at youtube.com/TimcastIRL. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you all then.